Hello guys, welcome back to Life with Pauly. So, today is going to be kind of a different topic. I have talked about homelessness on my channel before, but not in depth, and I wanted to do that today, and I'm going to be making several videos about different topics about homeless people and what is going on in the world today. And, I would like to get your opinions on it too. So if you have any type of opinion, you can leave it in the comment section down below. Now, as we all know, there are a lot of homeless people in the world. And some of them want help and some of them don't want help. And I understand that to a certain extent. What is happening in the world right now is just crazy, and it's only going to get worse. I just watched this YouTube channel where a lady wants ideas and stuff of how to help the homeless and stop homelessness here in America. And what I got to say to that is it's never going to stop, and it's never going to get better. I believe that it's only going to get worse. Now, we all know what just happened with the chief, and I call him the chief. The only reason why I do that is because I don't want to mention his name on my channel. We all know who runs the country right now. What he is doing, I think, is kind of crazy. He has the troops in D.C. to get the homeless people out of D.C. or to get them help or to put them in mental institutions, whatever the case may be. Now, he wants to clean up homelessness, but with the new laws that he just put into effect, it's going to make more people homeless. So I don't get what is going on here or what he is exactly trying to do. I do understand that he's trying to get people to work, and I do understand that if people do not have a disability, and if people do not, if people don't have a disability, if they're not on disability, if they're not on SSI for a certain health reason or whatever the case may be, I think they should be working. I think, they should be working and to support themselves, and they should be working to support their families. Like I did, I was 18. I was actually 17 a month before I became 18. I became a father, and I worked from the age of 16. My first job was Wendy's, and I worked there for 5 years. I've worked at McDonald's for 5 years. I've worked a lot of my life to support my children. When I was 17 years old and my daughter was born, I didn't even get help with WIC. Okay, I bought my daughter's formula myself. I didn't make my girlfriend go get WIC for my child. Now, I told my girlfriend that I didn't want her working because I wanted her to stay home and take care of the kids. But I supported us and I paid all our rent, and I did that by myself when I was younger and had my 3 girls. Now my 3 girls are all growing up. The oldest just turned 33. She's married. She's got a husband, but I took care of my kids. Did I get some help here and there? Yeah, I sure did. I did get food stamps at one time. I did get some help at times. I did get some help when I needed it, but I almost always had a job. I think from the age of 16 until I was about 40, 41, 42, somewhere around there, I think I had always worked except for a year out of that time. So I worked quite a few years. And then, of course, I had a lot of health issues. I wasn't going to the doctors because of the simple fact is I didn't have health insurance. I couldn't afford to go to the doctors. So I had diabetes, I had high blood pressure, I had high cholesterol, and I wasn't getting all that stuff checked or anything because I didn't have insurance. I was working for McDonald's, I was working for Wendy's, I was working for all these places, And, yes, them places do offer health insurance, but it's very expensive. It takes almost all your income away. There's no possible way a person can work for a company and pay for health insurance for them and their family unless they get that for free. That's something totally different. But me, myself, I could not afford it. And because of that, it destroyed my health. I do get help now, not with social services or anything right now. I am on disability now because of my heart attack in 2021. And my heart attack is, because I wasn't taking care of my health because I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford to get diabetic medication and all this other stuff. Until I got insurance, and then I was able to afford it. I got Medicaid and Medicare actually I got Medicaid first when I became sick and when I had the heart attack. That's how I got my Medicaid. And the stents put in my heart and everything else. They had to go in there and clean out blood clots. And that's how I got the Medicaid. And of course, I'm on Medicare now because I'm on disability and my heart is a permanent condition. And they're going to be putting in maybe a pacemaker or a defibrillator as soon as I get to the cardiologist when they give me my appointment again. But that's besides the point. That destroyed my health. And, I was in an apartment. I gave up my apartment, tried to live in my car. It wasn't working for me, so now I got this apartment. Where I live right now, this apartment is $900 a month, so it's not cheap. Apartments are not cheap anymore, anywhere. There are a couple towns that are cheap, that you can get an apartment for cheap. I'm not going to say that. There are a couple towns where you can live for cheap. Maybe get an apartment for $600-700 a month, but most places in the area I live in right now, most rents out here are $1,500 to $2,000 a month, and nobody could really afford that. I, on disability, don't get much over $1,500 a month, so I got this apartment. It was $900 a month, nothing included, so I have to budget my money very, very well in order to be able to afford this place by myself. And that's what I've been doing as of right now. I don't think he'll ever raise the rent because, it's already $900 a month. It's already a good amount. But, we'll see. I have money saved, though, in the bank, just in case he does ever raise the rent or something happens to him and I have to move. I do have backup money saved just in case I need security and rent for another place. You should always have backup money saved for a place. But the thing about it here is the homelessness is never going to go away. We all know that the new laws that he put in effect, the new laws start this year coming up. Some cities and states are already starting it. Some people already got cut off of food stamps. Some people already got cut off of Medicaid. And with this new law where you have to work 20 hours a week or you have to do something for 20 hours a week, I agree with that part. People should not just be sitting home and doing nothing and living off the taxpayers' dollars. I agree with that totally. But I do not agree where the money is going to, that they're going to be saving for this Medicaid cut and food stamps cuts. It's going to $1 million ballroom or whatever the price is in the White House. It's going to a ballroom. It's going to all these vacations for the Mr. Chief. There's other things that this money should be used for, one of them being Social Security. They keep on saying, well, Social Security is going to run out of money by 2035 or this and that, and we need to fix it. Well, it hasn't been fixed yet, and this has been going on for years and years and years. They say they need to fix it, but they have done nothing for that yet. And the homelessness is only going to get worse. The reason why I'm going to make several videos on this is because I don't want to make the videos too long. I want to keep you guys listening to me and, put your comments down below on what you think about it. But the homelessness is only going to get worse because of the cuts in food stamps, because of the cuts in Medicaid, people are not going to be able to afford. They're going to have to choose whether to feed themselves, to feed their children, or pay their rent. That's one. Two, next year they are starting with Section 8. If you don't know, Section 8 pays part of your rent. They go by your income and they go by how many people you have in your family. Okay? Section 8 is going to be limited to 2 years now, except for people on SSI and disability like me. Now, I'm not on Section 8 because right now here in Albany, New York, where we have Section 8, the waiting list has been closed for 3 years. The waiting list is like a 5-year waiting list or longer. Now, the only good thing about him limiting people that work to 2 years on Section 8 is it might open up more openings for the people on SSI or disability to get Section 8. So in that aspect, it's going to help some people. It's going to help the people that are retired, elderly, on SSI or on disability. It might help them to get Section 8 faster. Like I said, here in Albany, New York, it's a 5-year waiting list. And they have 2 waiting lists, not just one, they have 2. And one waiting list is 5 years. I don't know what the other waiting list is. It may help those people, but it's going to hurt the other people that are working and paying less rent. Now those people that are working and paying less rent because they get Section 8, they're going to have to pay their full amount of rent, okay? Because they're going to be limited 2 years on Section 8, and then you won't be able to get Section 8 anymore if you're an able-bodied adult. You're not going to be able to get it no more. So I did receive Section 8 years ago once, and I lived in an apartment, and I think our rent was like $100 and something, but the rental for the apartment was like $800, and I was only paying $100 and something. But with the way rents are now, they're $1,500 to $2,000. People are not going to be able to afford it. You're going to see a lot more homeless people on the streets and people becoming homeless. It's already happening all over. That's why I don't really understand why he's trying to clean up the homelessness in D.C. And all these other states, because once these laws have already been passed, the cuts to Section 8, the cuts to food stamps, and the cuts to Medicaid, once these go into full effect in every single state, you're going to see more people become homeless. So, I don't know, guys. I want to know your guys' opinion on this and what you guys think about this down in the comments down below, and exactly what you think is going to happen. I think it's only going to become worse. And a lot of people are going to start, more people are going to start living in their cars and their vans. I watch a lot of YouTubers that live in their cars, they live in their vans, they live in abandoned buildings, and I will be talking about that more in some coming videos, so be watching out for those. I will also be sharing some YouTube channels that help homeless and go out and feed the homeless or go out and give the homeless clothes. They give them blankets and things like that. I will also share some of those channels on my channel here, the channels that I like to watch, because I like what they're doing. There's a lot of homeless people out there that need help. Some of them want help, some of them don't. We have a lot of homeless people here in Albany I've thought about before going out and helping the homeless here in Albany, New York, but I don't, because there's a lot of homeless people right here in Albany, New York that have a lot of mental health issues. And, you know, you hear them screaming at each other, woman, man, F this, F that, and going crazy, and I just can't. I'm just not somebody that could deal with that, and I don't want to put myself in a spot where I'm going to get attacked or something like that. So I try to keep my distance from the homeless people here in Albany, New York. But there is a lot of homeless people right here in Albany, New York. You see them sitting on the side of the road. You see people with 3 grocery carts full of stuff and things like that. There are a lot of people that live in their cars and their vans. There's one lady on YouTube. She's about 70 something years old. She just had open heart surgery. She lives in her van. She can't afford an apartment. There's another lady that's 60 something. She lives in her van because she can't, with her dog, because she can't afford an apartment. And this is what is happening now in the U.S. and it's only going to get worse, guys. But I'm going to close this video out for now. Please leave your comments down below on what you think and what you think is going to happen here. And we will talk about it in my next few videos. And I will try to answer some of your comments or respond to some of your comments in my next video. Love you all. Please be safe. And remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, and comment down below.